Hello students, welcome back. I hope you must be enjoying my lectures. In this section, we will be concentrating on centroid and medians of a triangle and various other important concepts like circumcircle, ascribed circle, incircle, and we shall also study the concept of pedal triangle. Then we shall discuss some questions based on these concepts. Let's begin. Okay, so now we have the next topic, that is centroid and medians of any triangle. Okay, so many of you must be having a fair idea of what do we mean by centroid or medians. See, if A, B and C, A, B, C be the any triangles, this is the triangle ABC that we are talking about, and D, E, F respectively, D, E and F. Suppose these are the midpoints of BC, CA and AB. That is D, E, F are the midpoints of the three sides BC, CA and AB of triangle ABC. Then the lines AD, BE, CF are called medians. This AD, BE, CF are called in this case the medians of the triangle ABC, and the point at which these three medians intersect will be the centroid of the triangle. So this G is the point where these three medians are intersecting, and therefore we will call this G as the centroid of the triangle ABC. Now AD, we are talking about the lengths. AD is equal to, length of AD would be half of 2b square plus 2c square minus a square. Then BE would be half of under root 2c square plus 2a square minus b square, and CF would be half of 2a square plus 2b square minus c square under root. So from geometry we also know that the medians meet in a common point G, and now what we know is that AG by AD is 2 by 3. This AG by AD is 2 by 3, that is this ratio is 2:1, right? So similarly BG by BE is 2 by 3 and CG by CF is also 2 by 3, and the point G we have discussed just now is called the centroid of the triangle ABC. Next is the bisectors of angles. If AD bisects, again we have a triangle ABC, and if AD bisects the angle A and divides the base into portions X and Y, then what about the length of bisector? AD would be given by 2BC by B plus C cos A by 2. Similarly, if BE bisects the angle B, then BE would be given by 2CA by A plus C or C plus A cos B by 2, and CF is 2AB by A plus B cos of C by 2. Next is circumcircle. To find the magnitude of R, the radius of the circumcircle of any triangle ABC, 2R would be equal to A by sin A is B by sin B is C by sin C. So in this case what happens is, now see, we also know that the area is given by half BC sin A. We have discussed in one of the previous sessions that delta is equal to half BC sin A. So now from here, if you see from this section, you can say that sin A is A by 2R, right? So that means delta is half of BC A by 2R, that becomes ABC by 4R, and this means ABC, so this is what we have obtained, delta is ABC by 4R, so this means R is ABC by 4, so this is also the value of R. You can also write R is ABC by this quantity, right? So it will depend on the question, what information is given to you, what information is expected from you, that which formula you are supposed to use. So now we have certain important points. First one says, in case of acute angle triangle, circumcenter lies within the triangle. This is important, it will lie within the triangle. In case of obtuse angled triangle, circumcenter lies outside the triangle. And in case of right angle triangle, the circumcenter lies on midpoint of hypotenuse, right? So in case of right angle, it will lie on the midpoint of hypotenuse. Then we have the incircle. Radius of incircle small r. So these are the most commonly used notation when we say capital R. Though in most of the question it will be stated that it represents the circumradius, and this is the radius of incircle, that would be the radius of circumcircle. So radius of incircle small r is delta by s is s minus a tan a by 2, is s minus b tan b by 2, s minus c tan c by 2, or r is 4r sin a by 2 sin b by 2 sin c by 2, where obviously a, b, c denote the sides of triangle and capital A, capital B, capital C are the angles, right? Next we have is ascribed circle. To find the value of R1, the radius of the ascribed circle opposite the angle A of the triangle ABC. Now R1 denotes the radius of ascribed circle opposite the angle A of triangle ABC. Then R1 would be equal to delta by s minus A equal to s tan A by 2 is 4r sin A by 2 cos B by 2 cos C by 2. Then R2 is delta s minus B, that is equal to s tan B by 2, and that is equal to 4r cos A by 2 sin B by 2 cos C by 2. R3 is delta s minus C is s tan C by 2 is 4r cos A by 2 cos B by 2 sin C by 2. Now we have certain important formulae further, basically the important results regarding R1, R2, R3, right? So semi-parameter is given by S is under root of R1, R2 plus R2, R3 plus R3, R1. Delta is R1, R2, R3 by under root sigma R1, R2. Capital R is R1 plus R2, R2 plus R3, R3 plus R1 by 4 sigma R1, R2. And ABC, we can find out the values of ABC also in terms of R1, R2, R3. A is R1, R2 plus R3 by sigma under root sigma R1, R2. Then B is R2, R3 plus R1 by under root sigma R1, R2. And C is R3, R1 plus R2 by under root sigma R1, R2. Then we have sin A is 2R1 under root sigma R2, R3 by R1 plus R2, R2 plus R3. Okay, now we have certain questions based on these formulae. The first one says, if in a triangle R1 is R2 plus R3 plus R, prove that the triangle is right angled. So we are given that R1 is R2 plus R3 plus R. Trigonometry is nothing without formulae, and so I am repeating again and again. Do remember all these formulae. They should be on your fingertips so that you can save your time in exams and solve out questions within seconds. So we have R1 is R2 plus R3 plus R. That means R1 minus R can be written as R2 plus R3. Then again we can apply the formula, and we have delta by S minus A by minus delta by S is equal to delta by S minus B plus delta by S minus C. Just take the LCM. We have delta S minus delta S plus delta A by S minus A is equal to delta of S minus C plus delta of S minus B by S minus B S minus C. So this gives me delta A by S minus A is delta of 2S minus B minus C by S minus B S minus C. Delta gets cancelled on both sides, and we have S minus B S minus C is equal to S minus A. In fact, if you compute this also, this value comes out to be A. So delta A gets cancelled on both sides, and we are left with this. Then we have S square minus SA is equal to S square minus SB plus C plus BC. right? So we have S square minus SA is equal to S square minus S, B plus C plus BC. So S square also gets cancelled, and we have, if I take S on this side, we have B plus C minus AS is equal to BC. B plus C minus A 2S, if I multiply both sides by 2, I have B plus C minus A 2S is 2BC. So this gives me B plus C minus A. Now 2S can be written as B plus C plus A. This is equal to 2BC, which means now A minus B, A plus B. So I can write it as A square minus B square is 2BC, which means B square plus C square minus A square, plus we'll get 2BC and 2BC gets cancelled. So this gives me B square plus C square is equal to A square. Now B square plus C square is equal to A square. This implies that the triangle is right angled. How can I say that? Since B square plus C square is coming out to be A square, where ABC are sides of the triangle, therefore we have that the triangle is right angled triangle. So this was simple computation simplification. We have just simplified what is given to us. Next question says, prove that R1 plus R2 plus R3 minus R is 4R. Okay. First of all, this should be 4 capital R, right? Now, R1 plus R2 plus R3, again we proceed from the given LHS, R1 plus R2 plus R3 minus R. We proceed from here, and this is equal to again delta by S minus A, delta by S minus B, this is plus delta by S minus C minus delta by S. Just simplify this, we have delta comes common, S minus B plus S minus A. If I take two terms at a time, S minus B plus S minus A into S minus A, S minus B plus S minus S plus C by S. We have delta, and I am taking two terms at a time. So delta S minus B plus S minus A by S minus A, S minus B plus S minus S plus C by S, S minus C. So this is equal to delta. We are left with 2S minus A plus B. Finally, we are left with C, and here also we are left with C. Here I have S minus A, S minus B, and here I have S, S minus C. So now I can take out C also common, so I am left with S, S minus C plus S minus A, S minus B by S, S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. So this is equal to, this can be written as delta square. And what about the numerator? Numerator becomes 2S square minus S, A plus B plus C plus AB. So this becomes S square plus S square, 2S square minus S into A plus B plus C plus AB. This is what we get. Delta gets cancelled, one delta will get cancelled, and then we have, this is equal to, this is our LHS, so this is equal to C by delta, and then we have 2S square minus 2S square plus AB. So this also gets cancelled. We have ABC by delta, and that is equal to 4R. So this is what we were required to prove. Again, I have just simplified what is given to us. I proceeded from LHS. I have just applied the formula of R1, R2, R3 and R, and we have reached the desired conclusion. Now we have orthocenter and pedal triangle of any triangle. What do we mean by orthocenter and pedal triangle? See, let ABC, this ABC is the given triangle, and AK, BL and CM be perpendiculars from ABC to the opposite sides. That means AK is a perpendicular from A on opposite side, that is BC. BL is perpendicular from B on the opposite side AC, and CM is the perpendicular from C on the opposite side AB. Then we know that these perpendiculars will meet, they are meeting in the point H, and this H is called the orthocenter of the triangle, right? So this H is called the orthocenter of the triangle, and further when we join the foot of these perpendiculars, that is KLM, the triangle so formed is called the pedal triangle. So what do we mean by the pedal triangle? The triangle that is formed by joining the feet of the perpendiculars. So what did I say? If we have a triangle ABC and AKBLCM are perpendiculars from ABC on the opposite sides, the point at which these perpendiculars will meet will be termed as the orthocenter of the triangle ABC, while if we join the feet of these perpendiculars, the triangle so formed will be termed as the pedal triangle, right? So I hope you must have understood about the centroid and medians of triangle and the concepts like pedal triangle, etc. Now in the next section we will be concentrating on cyclic quadrilateral and regular polygon, and we shall also discuss some ambiguous cases in case of solution of triangle. So stay tuned.